And for more on what to expect, we're joined now by Sean Sublette. He's a meteorologist with Climate Matters in Philadelphia. Sean, thanks for joining us. Now let's start with the latest track of Florence. Where could it go over the next few days?
I think over the next 1 to 2 days is going to be most critical. It's in central North Carolina right now, kind of working its way toward the western Carolinas late tonight and then into Sunday. By then it will begin to pick up a little more forward speed. Part of the problem with the system right now is that it is moving so slowly, less than 5 kilometers an hour. It will pick up a forward speed into Sunday and Monday. So there's still going to be places downstream of this track, the western Carolinas and ultimately Virginia, perhaps West Virginia as well, that could still very easily do 15 to 25 centimeters of rain, but they're not going to have the extent of the rain that we've seen right now in eastern North Carolina.
And as Sean mentioned in that report earlier, one big threat is flooding. Preliminary reports say North Carolina has already had record rainfall. So just how much could these affected regions expect out of all this in total?
You know, the totals are already staggering, and there's probably another 6 to 12 hours worth of rain to come for central and eastern North Carolina. 30 to 50 centimeters has already fallen. In fact, there's one gauge in the small town near Swansboro, North Carolina, and this needs to be verified, but suggests 75 centimeters of rain has already fallen. The rain is not going to stop for another 6 to 12 hours. So epic really is the right term here. This is something that happens probably once, maybe twice in somebody's lifetime.
And Sean, Florence continues to stall in these regions. Is that what makes this storm so worrisome as opposed to maybe hurricanes in the past that blow through pretty quickly?
That is exactly correct. One of the things we've been trying to caution from the meteorological community is not to get focused on the wind aspect of this storm. This is all about the volume of water that was coming as the storm slows down, because a hurricane is bad enough, tropical system, bad enough, but then when it slows down, and this is akin to what we saw in Harvey in Texas last year about this time, it just sits and dumps tremendous, phenomenal amounts of water on one particular region.
And Sean, we have less than a minute left. Of course, Florence is still a big threat, as you've mentioned, but do you think the storm has lived up to the severity of those original warnings?
I think so. Again, to emphasize, one of the things we wanted to communicate to the public was that there might be some wind damage. When all would be said and done, there were going to be phenomenal amounts of water, tremendous amounts of flooding, the likes of which we rarely have seen in this part of the United States. And that is certainly coming to pass. As we alluded to, the center of the storm is still in the central Carolinas right now, and it's going to be another 24 to 36 hours before it's out. So there is still more rain to come. And then we're going to see the water, as Sean alluded to, from those tributaries running into the larger rivers. So the Cape Fear River, the Neuse River, those are going to be in flood for several days to a week, perhaps longer, even after the rain is done.
I'm sure you'll be continuing to watch this closely. Meteorologist Sean Sublette, thanks so much for your insight.